Hello, and welcome to All My Friends Are Right Here. I'm your host today, Vince, and we've got Dylan,
Hello.
and we've got Kia.
Space, the final frontier. I
No, no,
think
no,
I
no, no,
no the
no.
first
That's
frontier.
Star Trek just came out this weekend, but actually the 50th anniversary is just a few weeks away. So
Hmm.
we're not doing Star Trek just yet.
Okay.
We
Well, so
instead are doing
space, a frontier in between the first and the last one.
one small podcast for man, one giant leap for podcast. I don't know. You
Whoop.
know how we like to celebrate our big anniversaries? It's the 47th anniversth last week of the moon landing, way back in 1960.
Oh, that's a big year. What's the
The big
47th?
big 14. Shit, how do you say 47?
Quarenta siete.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
You know, I love my prime number, anniversaries. But this episode comes to us because Matt Novak of Gizmodo a few weeks ago did a Freedom of Information request to find out what movies are aboard the International Space Station. And it's quite the doozy. I don't know. He didn't really explain in his article what kind of format these movies are in. I imagine there's not like 100 Blu-rays or DVDs up there.
Oh,
I
torrents.
imagine they have like some type of pirated jump drive of AVI
It's
files.
got to be
But
AVI, right? I was looking at there's a lot more movies than I expected, right?
Yeah, it's way more. This is
yeah,
a huge
and
list.
we will put this list in all the places you can check us out. So it's probably in your show notes. It'll be also on allmyfriendsarerighthere.com as well as facebook.com/allmyfriendsarerightere or our Twitter account. We're right here. We'll put it out on all of those things so you can check out this list for yourself because it's kind of
worth
bonkers.
looking at because there's stuff we're not going to talk about, I'm sure, tonight that I was not expecting to see. A lot of like Marx Brothers movies on there. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay.
I mean,
cool.
like they have like every Star Trek movie, which
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
There has to be
Maybe
some kind
not.
of calculation, like psychological calculation for how many hours of leisure time they need a week that's built into their schedule. Do we think it's a movie a night?
I don't know. I don't know if they work in shifts or if they can be like security guards where they can like watch a movie and like chill on the space station at the same time. Like, I don't know. They have a big HD TV now. They used to have to watch stuff on their laptop.
Big TV.
And
And I think it's, well, I don't know if it's a TV. I think it's like a projection situation, right? I don't know if you can get a TV up there, but I think that they're
Just took
pretty
it on the
busy.
shuttle.
I remember reading
They
that
just
they're just packed it up, went to Best Buy on the way to the landing pad. I think that they're pretty busy all day. I think they keep them scheduled pretty packed just because each minute up there costs like $30 million or something ridiculous like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which like, so what's the calculation then? Oh, now I want to know. Like if you watch one 90-minute movie, what is the cost of that to NASA?
Yeah.
To each individual American taxpayer.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I noticed there weren't like a lot of Pixar movies. Like does crying like waste more oxygen or like
There's other sad movies on this list, though.
Oh no, but maybe crying helps the water reclamation.
So you'd want more like sad movies.
That's-
I don't know. It was a weird list. We recommend you check out us all on our social networks and read this list for yourself. But guys, we know that there are 6 people aboard the International Space Station, and us 3 are part of the movie planning committee. We've got 5 different movie nights specifically to plan today.
Now you might wonder,
And
with 6 people on the space station, why did NASA delegate half of the crew to the moving planning committee? But they feel like it's very important.
Well, we originally had 5 dedicated, but 2 of them couldn't be on tonight's podcast. So,
well, listen.
So really, they just left one guy out.
Look, if the morale is low up there, then every minute that they are spending on this, it could all go to waste if the astronauts are not happy. Because a happy employee is a good employee, right?
Happy astronaut.
Happy wife.
Happy.
Safe from. Yeah, happy astronaut, lower, I don't know. Okay, anyways, we've got 5 nights to plan today. We've got our first night up on the space station where we're getting to know everybody, a little mixer, just a little fun movie. We're all going to be watching as a group. And then we've got binge watch day. There's a lot of TV seasons actually on here, and there's actually a lot of full franchises on here, as we already mentioned, Star Trek. So this is going to be a day where we just take off and watch either an entire film franchise or a season of a television series. Then we're going to be up on the space station for a long time, so we're actually going to be there over Christmas. So we need to pick a good holiday movie. And boy, howdy, there are a lot of holiday movies in this list here, so we're not going to have to be scraping for anything. Then, sometime in around February, the Russians are coming over, so we're going to have a little mixer with the Russians. We want to watch a movie with them. And then we're going to be going home, sadly, at the end of our tour of duty. And our last night, what's the last night movie we're going to be watching on the space station?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
So,
sadly though. I imagine at that point we're probably pretty happy to get back home.
Be pretty hopeful, right?
I think so.
you think so?
Well,
Unless Vince just never wants to go home. I don't know.
I
It
never want to go.
depends. Like maybe we hate each other. Maybe it smells up there.
Do smells carry in
Good.
zero G? I feel like they have to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
They
I
do.
read that it
They've
can kind of smell like socks up there. It's like
Yeah, I
gym
can see it.
clothes.
Yeah, they can't be taking a lot of showers up there, right?
No, I don't know how they bathe. I think it's like a scrubbing kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
I always
soap?
imagined a space elephant service that would come by and spray them all real quick. But
but
I think I might be wrong about that.
But all that space ice cream, did you ever eat that like at Space Center Houston or NASA? Like that stuff
I
is
never
good.
did. I never had that. It is?
That's good. It's candy that my parents bought me at a museum. So you
Yeah,
know,
exactly. As
Oh,
good as that
yeah.
can be. Hey, just so you guys know, I did some quick math and Googling, and the cost to watch a 2-hour movie on the space station is about $1.5 million,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Okay.
which seems like a bargain.
so
Right?
but
Maybe not.
yeah.
Space launches are expensive.
Do you think? Yeah, and that's my question. Are they paying for the rights? Because I mean, it's 6 people. Is that like a crowd? Does that cost more money, or did they just literally pirate these movies? Like I don't know how they got these movies up there. I really
Well, they're not downloading them up there. I don't think they've got pretty
The-
decent
well,
internet speed.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can probably torrent stuff at like, a few kilobytes per second or something, but probably not very well.
But that's like movie downloading like circa 2001. Like that's gonna take forever.
Yeah, they're still using LimeWire.
Real
up there.
player.
Oh, that's right. Because although all that space technology is so old, we sent it up such a long time ago. So yeah, it's probably Napster and LimeWire and stuff.
They're probably
boy,
rocking
Well, that's what's
Windows
crazy.
98
They've got
Dell.
new movies on this list. Or new
Are they
movies.
compatible with modern televisions?
Maybe they just have an Apple TV. Maybe we're overthinking it.
Yeah, like literally, like we just pulled the list of what it was on Netflix that month.
It's a Roku stick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we're overthinking it.
All right, let's get
but
to this thing.
let's not overthink it too much. Dylan, you've got the first pick, and again, we're gonna have to decide on everything, the movie that we want for the first night before we move on, and we can't really repeat movies. So once it's been mentioned, it's now off the list. So Dylan,
Ooh.
for the first night, what do you want?
Here's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
First night in space, right? So I feel like you want to lean into it a little bit. You want it to be about space. You want it to feel like hopeful.
Yeah.
And you want to have fun too, because you're up there and there's probably like a lot of energy. And
Yeah.
I think you want something that feels like that. Like you're not really interested in just watching like When Harry Met Sally, for example.
That's a comical movie, but a bit heavy for the
A
first
bit
night in space.
and a weird movie to watch in your first night in space, right?
Yeah.
That's like a movie that you just stumble upon. I think this is very deliberate, very hopeful, very exciting. Also about space. I'm going to pick Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Oh, you even put hope in the title.
A new start.
Anus tart.
Sorry, Episode 4. Anus start.
Oh boy.
Yes.
It takes some of the other trilogies off the table if we wanted to do it for the binge night, but I think that it's kind of, your mind is on other stuff, so you don't want something you have to think about too hard or something that's going to get you down very much. So,
Sure.
Yeah, and I mean, so if people still kind of like want to hang out during the Star Wars movie, not everybody's gonna be like on the first night, like shut the fuck up.
yeah, because everyone's
Star
going to be
Wars
like playing around, floating, and like
Yeah.
squirting like water bubbles all over the place. Whatever you do when you're weightless for the first time.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I like that pick. Kia, what do you got?
I gotta say, I had the exact same thought process as Dylan. Something spacey, something kind of fun, adventure-y. But I just decided to go with an overall better movie, and that would be Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got that same sort of space feeling. On top of that, you've got a lot of different cultures coming together in that movie, a lot of different races, and I think it works for the idea of the space station. Hey, who knows who's up there? We're all going to get along. And so, again, very hopeful, very positive. Some people might consider it heresy to say that that's better than Star Wars, but you know what? Star Wars is an old movie, so Guardians of the Galaxy is better. So there we go.
I would say it's a better movie. Newer movies are always better than older movies. There,
exactly.
I said it.
Yeah, we've made
But
progress.
90s movies are better than everything.
Well, I don't know about that.
Did it reset at the start of the millennium? Is that the deal?
No, that's just because we're the generation like that. We're now like everybody like is catering to our nostalgia. 90s nostalgia trumps everything.
Yeah. Oh, Trump.
Can we not use that word? And can we? Oh boy, hot take. All right, let's move on.
Okay. So I had a different pick, but you guys went for a little more sci-fi. I was wondering, like, should we really play into the fact that everybody here is an astronaut and really into space? Because there are a lot of space movies on this list. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go to the movie that says the word space more than any movie, and that's the Lego Movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which, again, is like the other things. It's about a bunch of people from different backgrounds coming together, and it's also got a spaceman. Space! Played by Charlie Day. I like that movie a lot. It's fun. It's silly. It's inoffensive. The people on the ship may not have seen it, but boy, they're in for a treat. So I'm going with the Lego Movie.
You know, I had that one on my list too for a different night.
Both of your movies were on my list for different nights too.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, great pick though. Lego Movie is fantastic. I'm about due for a rewatch on that. I don't think I've seen it since it was in theaters. So yeah. Good stuff.
They got both of those 2014 movies up on that spaceship real quick.
Wow.
On a space station. They were like, of all the new movies, we need Lego Movie and Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was surprised how modern. Anyways, so yeah, I guess it's time to vote.
Yeah. And you can't pick your own.
Yeah.
Well, before we vote, a little pandering and
sure
stumping for my pick, right? First night, right? So it's probably kind of like a mixer situation too. We're probably up there. Yeah. There's new people up there. There's Russians who maybe, who knows how well their English is. I'm assuming they can speak English pretty well, actually, now that I think about it. But maybe there's going to be like a lot of talking in the movie. I think it makes sense to choose an older movie that people probably have seen multiple times.
So you're saying pick a movie that nobody has to watch. That's a great strategy.
Hey, that was my strategy for our episode way long time ago when we made a movie channel. That I said I want every movie that people just jump in halfway through and then
that's what I'm saying. It's just you're going to be like solid logic, looking out the window. You're going to be like playing with the gadgets. You're going to be.
Whereas Lego Movie is much more of a wordy comedy and not so much physical.
Maybe you could like play like some
tree thing.
Like fake, like
Guardians has the tree
lightsaber battles and things like that because you're actually in space.
But Guardians has dancing and music, and that'd be fun. You could take a break during like the opening credits. We could all be floating around when like Chris Pratt's dancing around and stuff.
I do like the music.
Well, Lego
there.
Movie also has dancing and music, and hey, Star Wars has the cantina scene. I guess everyone will shut up for that. Hey, everybody, quiet! The cantina scene's on.
Did it say what? It didn't say what version of A New Hope is up there.
Ooh,
it's not that big of a deal. Shut up.
They've got an original reel.
Pretty much the same. Who cares? Oh, there's a few little CGI things. It's not a big deal.
I'm gonna give my vote to Guardians.
Woo! Even after I insulted you, thank you. I am gonna give my vote.
When did you insult Vince?
Not really insult him.
Oh, you mean offline when you and I were talking before the show?
Yeah.
Before we took off to the space station?
That's right. On the way up here. We're sitting next to each other.
I give my vote to Dylan for Star Wars.
Well, you did. I can't vote for myself, Kia.
I know. I'm sorry.
What happens if I vote for Vince's?
Then we will be at a weird impasse.
Yeah. Then we all have to pick a new fourth movie. We're gonna pick. We're gonna like randomly scroll through the list and see what our fingers land on.
Oh, it'll probably be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Guardians. I think Guardians is a good pick.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job, Kia. You are our number one. You got 1 point on the board, and there's a side thing going of who is the best movie planner on this space station right now. Kia, you're ahead 1-0.
Oh, that feels so good because I am generally not the best movie planner on Earth. So this makes me very happy.
You're out of this world, Kia.
Whoa!
Okay, so it's binge watch day, and since I placed last, I get to go first on binge watch day. And again, this is a movie franchise or a season of a television series. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick. Are there Russians on board, Dylan? I don't care. I'm picking the Americans. They have the American seasons
Oh,
1 through 3 aboard.
Oh,
I think the Russians would still be on board with the concept of like rooting for the Russians
hey,
in this.
yeah, it's about the Russians. The Americans are the
Yeah.
bad guys.
The Americans is about the Russians. That's a misleading title. Uh, the Americans is a fucking great FX show. They have the most recent season on there, or was there season 4? Doesn't matter. Me and Dylan, we watched this show. It's fantastic.
I still haven't
I am
watched
an
this.
episode behind. So if you've seen anything, I don't give it away. But
I'm
it is
I'm
terrific.
at the end of. I think I'm through season 2 is where I finished.
They finally got nominated this year for a little sidetrack.
Carrie Russell is great on that show. It's just a really good tense spy drama, but it also like flows really well. I think it'd be a really good like just chill and relaxed day, but like focus on like some like really good heavy drama
Hey,
kind of thing.
and it's a great '80s show too.
Yeah, which we're going to be dealing with a lot of 80s and 90s technology. So
Wait, what do you
That's
mean
right.
it's a great 80s? Oh, it's set in the 80s?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Oh, I didn't
for those of
realize
you-
that.
So the Americans is about two Russians who are posing as Americans, and so they're KGB spies, and so they're acting against America through the whole show. It's really really well done, really well acted, really interesting, and really low stakes spy technology. Like one whole episode is just about getting like a recording device into the Secretary of Defense's office. And so like they try to like blackmail his maid to be able to to replace a clock that has a microphone in it so they can tape him. Like that's the kind it's like real low stakes like John le Carre style spy stuff, not like James Bond stuff. It's
Okay.
really really well done.
Very
Carrie
good.
Russell's great.
so a little more because and you can cut this out, Vince, but I wanted to tell Key about this. They're not just posing as Americans. They've been in America. They came over when they were young, and they've been in America for like 15 years, living as
And
Americans.
they like have kids.
They're
Yeah.
married and they have kids and everything like that, and they have jobs, but they are trained KGB agents. So it's pretty cool.
Dylan, did you read that article about the American kids who found out their parents were Russians?
Yes, that was fucked up, right?
Like about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like these, so what they did. So apparently, this is how the KGB did it: is they would first introduce their sleeper agents into Canada, and then build up enough of like a history in Canada as like a Western person, and then move to America. So Americans. Like if they came straight from Russia, like these people are kind of weird and they don't know like our cultural things, but they always thought like, oh, they're Canadian. Let's not worry about them. And that's how a lot of like they came via Canada.
All I'm gonna
into-
say is, if we had a wall,
I don't think it would have stopped these people.
I beg your
That's
forgiveness.
it.
These
You're right.
Russian
'Cause the
spies-
walls are gonna be on the wrong side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Hot take. So Dylan, you had second place in that round, so the last round, so you get to take the next pick.
A lot of ways I can go here. There's a lot of really good like movie series or groups of movies. I'm not going to talk about the ones that I would not pick that I want to pick, but I'm not going to pick because Kia hasn't come up yet. But I was surprised at how much they had, especially a television series.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of alien movies, and I'm going to pick the alien
Like
series.
Xenomorph aliens?
Xenomorph aliens.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the whole line of Alien, Aliens,
Oh,
Resurrection, all that stuff.
okay.
Because you've been up there for
That
a
was-
while, and space is probably kind of normal, and it's good to be like a little have the appropriate level of fear about space because at any moment something could come in and kill you.
Put you back on your toes. That first movie is great. And Sigourney is so good in that movie.
Yeah, I considered that for my first night pick, but I thought that would be a little intense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think movies that are. See, I almost picked some movies that are kind of scary about space and like terrible things that can happen to you up there. But then I knew that, like, man, if I'm up there, I'm just gonna be like sad and scared that something will go wrong. And I know you're trained against that, but man,
Well,
anyway,
if you go to the
That's why I didn't
story
pick Gravity.
on Gizmodo, you can see that they're watching Gravity on the space station, and there's a clip of them, and you can see the TV they have.
why are they watching that?
This is why we need a movie planning committee.
Gravity.
Oh boy. Ugh. Although Gravity could be like good training, like okay, if anything goes wrong, just be Sandra Bullock and fly around.
Gravity is the scariest movie of something that I know will never happen to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I had no reason to be scared watching it.
like space is never gonna get me. I'll be fine.
It could. I mean, technology is moving pretty fast. All right. We're getting off track here. All right. So what am I picking for binge watch day? Man, this is a tough one for me. I almost maybe picked a TV show like Cosmos or Life, both for very opposite reasons. Cosmos because we're in space and oh cool, so much cool stuff about the galaxy and the world. And Life just because it comes back down to the planet Earth. I imagine I might be missing it at this point. But
Planet Earth wasn't on the list though.
Exactly, I thought it wasn't. So I thought Life would be maybe the closest thing.
Yeah.
Even then, I still wouldn't want to get too bummed out because it's only our second movie night. We're up there. So I just went with a classic movie series. I said, you know what? Let's go with Star Trek. There's a ton of those movies. And not just that, I haven't seen most of them. So I think they're fairly hopeful about space as a whole and pretty fun movies. So that was my choice, Star Trek.
I like it.
I think they had all 12 movies on
No,
there.
I like that pick because you know what? There's a lot of nerds in space too.
Yeah.
These space stations are full of nerds.
Wow, what kind of fucking nerd decides he wants to grow up and go out into space? Ugh, do something on Earth that matters, right?
Like invent the iPad because you saw it on an episode of Next Generation, which is what really happened.
What?
Really?
Next Generation had iPads or tablets.
So is Gene Roddenberry's estate getting is Gene Roddenberry still alive? Anyway,
he's been dead for 30 years.
Yeah, his estate should be getting all the proceeds from the iPads, right?
They had to give.
I don't know if it's him or the prop, or the prop designer who was just like, I don't want to make a different like phaser gun for everything like we did on the original series. How about we just make a blank slate and it just like controls everything? And then nerds were like, oh, I want the thing like that, and not just because they had like a prop shorthand thing. So, but I do want. I don't think Roddenberry.
Art mimics life. That's what they say, or is it life mimics art? It's things mimic things.
Yeah, I knew y'all wouldn't take it, but I was thinking about taking the Planet of the Apes series. Every Planet of the Apes movie is on there, even the 2001 Tim Burton.
Some of those are really bad.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't pick it. Like, it's. I'm like, why is every Planet of the Apes movie on board the space station?
No reason. Well, it's about astronauts, kind of.
I know. I mean, like, I like the first one. I like the one where the apes time travel back to the 70s. I like the newer ones, but there's no reason to have Battle for the Planet of the Apes or Conquest.
I couldn't do it.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Well, we picked Guardians first. I was gonna say that maybe it'd be fun to do like some kind of Marvel binge thing.
If I
that would
that. Oh, yeah, that would.
Do they have every one of the movies up there?
They had a lot of them.
They had Thor, Avengers,
2 Captain Americas,
Iron Man. What would we be missing?
There's a Hulk movie in there?
I don't think the Hulk is on the list. And no one cares about that movie anyways. Yeah. Oh,
that would have been a good one too. But we've got what we do have, which is The Americans, the Alien film series, and Star Trek. How long have we been on here before binge movie day? Like 2-3 months? A few weeks?
Ooh, I would say at least a few months, right? For them to give us a whole day off to just watch movies all day.
Yeah. So if we watch something like fucked up, like we wouldn't all be like super judgy of the person because I was thinking about picking like a real like dark comedy for first night, but then I was like, I don't know the audience here necessarily to like be able to feel out like, is this a good or a bad idea? Like
here's what I'm thinking. I like the idea of space, but I really like the idea, and I'm using some of it later, of something that we could watch with the Russians. And if I'm binge watching something, I feel like I'm going to get pretty bored pretty quickly watching Star Trek movies, but I could watch a series all day.
Yeah,
pretty easily.
I think I'd agree. I think I also agree with that. I'm willing to vote for Vince as well.
Yeah, I picked the Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Americans won. So awesome. That's a really good TV series. Everybody, y'all should be watching that.
Yeah, plus I haven't seen it, which would be nice. Go up into space, watch a TV show, come back down to Earth. Man, good time.
Mm-hmm. and I picked Alien. So Kia, you've got the first pick for our holiday movie.
Okay. Christmas time. There's so many great Christmas movies, but I'm gonna go with the one that, in my opinion, is probably the greatest. Works for a lot of a lot of holidays as well. Works for just the general holiday season, and that's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Just gosh, one of my absolute favorite movies. I think I've talked about it, or someone has talked about it on one of our other movie drafts, and deservedly so. It should come up in every movie draft ever because it's one of the best. Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a good one.
I
It's a
like
good
that. I
musical.
love that movie.
We had a museum exhibit a couple years ago here in San Antonio where they brought like all the sets and models
Yeah, I went to that too. That was like I feel like that was a long time ago though. Like
they brought it
years
back
ago.
like me and it was right before our son was born, so I guess 3 years
Oh,
ago now.
okay.
I was surprised how tiny everything was. Like I
Mm-hmm,
assumed it would be like full size, but like Jack Skellington's the size of a doll. Every building is real super tiny. Like their miniature work was really incredible for that
Yeah.
movie.
Which I think is weird. Wouldn't it just be easier to make everything a little bit bigger so it's it's not harder to make detail? Whatever.
Right.
I don't know how.
This is the first time I've
No,
ever seen.
I think
like,
Kia, you're
extra
right.
like
I think they obviously have no idea what they're doing. They're amateurs.
I always mess up the director's name, Henry Selick. I think it's his name. I always mess his name up. I think it's Henry Selick, not Henry Selznick. He doesn't know what he was doing when he made Coraline, or Monkey Bone with that friend of the show, Brendan Fraser.
I like Monkey Bone. People hate on that movie, but I like it. I
good. Did
hate
you not like
Brendan
Coraline?
Fraser, but I like every Brendan Fraser movie.
I'm joking. Coraline's a great
Right,
film.
good. I like
the
that
best,
movie.
one of the best animated films of the last decade. Definitely best non-Pixar movie. So Kia has Nightmare Before Christmas. Dylan, you have the next pick.
I'm going to pick something that's very familiar. I love holiday movies that are not about the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this, you know what? That's even the wrong intro for the movie I'm about to pick because it's not even close to being a holiday movie. What I was going to say is I love movies at the holidays that are about friends and family and good feelings and things like that. And you should all know this movie. And if you don't, then something's wrong with you because we just talked about it. I'm going to pick the Lego movie.
No, we can't pick the Lego movie.
But we didn't vote on it.
Oh, okay. How is the Lego movie a holiday movie?
It's not. I just think to watch movies like that
like
around the
Dylan's violating all sorts of rules here.
Would you like me to pick a movie that is
Yes.
not the Lego movie
Christmas.
and also a Christmas movie?
Yes, has to have Christmas scenes, like When Harry Met Sally.
Hey, When Harry Met Sally's not even on the list.
They didn't take that up to space.
Now, I feel as a Jewish person
Lego movie's a great movie.
that you can't tell me to pick a Christmas movie if I don't want to.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and I'll play your game and I'll pick a movie that has something to do with Christmas in it. When I'm thinking about a Christmas movie, and I'm really going to try and vamp here for a while I look back at the list and try and find a movie that resonates with me.
Don't pick Christmas with the Cranks.
Is it on here?
Or
Yeah.
Four Christmases. Yeah,
I was about to pick Four Christmases. My family loves Four Christmases, like a little more than they should.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Here's what I'll do. I'll pick your Christmas movie. Okay.
I'll pick your Christmas movie, Stalin.
I will protest and say that a Christmas movie is whatever you want it to be. You can watch any movie at Christmas if it makes you feel good inside. So my real pick is Lego Movie, but I'll go ahead and pick Die Hard.
Die Hard.
I knew someone was going to pick Die Hard.
Well, I didn't want to, but he made me do it.
We can't do that when
Alright.
we. Die Hard's a great movie, but we can't do that with our mixer with the Russians. I feel like that's a bad call.
Oh, I think we should.
Well, this
They
is
think
it's
a movie night with the Russians. This isn't movie night with the Russians, so we're still okay.
They do keep
yeah,
separate parts of the space station. They kind of stay to themselves, for real.
So Dylan picked Die Hard, but really he's gonna put Lego Movie on once we all agree to watch Die Hard, which is fair. Lego Movie's a great movie, and so I guess I can't pick Four Christmases. Although I was gonna try to give you all a Vince Vaughn comedy. Man, we've had this argument before, guys, about between Elf and Christmas Story. So I'm gonna take that off the table because you can go back to episode 2 and hear about that. Let's go with Christmas Vacation is on there. And Christmas Vacation's a fun Chevy Chase comedy. It's got friend of the show, Randy Quaid in it. Not friend of the show, right? What do we call him?
Unfriend of the show.
Unfriend of the show.
Unfriend.
Yeah, we've got a beef with Randy Quaid.
I like him.
Huge
I think
Twitter.
he's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to talk about Randy Quaid today because Scott's not
I'm
here.
not going to talk about Randy Quaid today.
No, don't get me started on Randy
Don't get
Quaid.
me started talking about Randy Quaid. I will not talk about Randy Quaid. I like Christmas Vacation. It's not as I'm poo-pooing my own pick.
Keep going, Vince.
Yeah,
All
do
right.
it.
Let's watch Lego Movie.
Yeah, let's just watch Lego Movie. I'm voting for Lego Movie. It's about family and togetherness.
Yeah, you know what? I'll vote for Lego Movie too. Actually, even though it wasn't our official pick, I'm still voting for it. I think Dylan. I think we all sort of had to go towards Christmassy stuff, but you're right. I think that is probably the most uplifting of all the movies that we mentioned. So I'm fine with Lego Movie.
So what will probably happen is on Christmas, everybody will be flipping through a bunch of Christmas movies, and they'll be like, "Why did y'all pick Lego Movie for your holiday movie?" And then we're like, "Look at the rest of Christmas movies. Look at Christmas with the Crank. Oh, I don't want to watch that. Okay, we're watching Lego Movie." So, Dylan, you got that pick. Although you do get to pick who had second place, just for the way the next round is going to go.
Oh, okay. I think second place. What were your two picks again?
It was Nightmare Before Christmas and Christmas Vacation.
Nightmare Before Christmas for sure.
Okay.
Woo!
So that means I lost that round, which means I get to go first. Then it'll be Kia and then Dylan. So hey, we're all on the board, guys. We've all got
Equals.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick probably a weird movie that none of y'all have seen.
But I movie really night with the Russians.
Mixer Night with the Russians.
Okay.
I'm going a little heartfelt this time. It's a weird movie. I don't think y'all have seen it. It's called Heart and Souls.
Is that the one? Okay, hold on. Is that the one?
The Charles Grodin movie?
Yes, it's an early 90s movie.
Yes.
Where there's a car crash at the beginning.
Yes,
where
like a bus crash. Yeah.
A bus crash crashes into another car. It's got Charles Grodin in it, Kira Sedgwick, David Paymer, and they crash into a car, and it forces a pregnant woman into labor. And then the ghosts attach themselves to this baby, and the baby grows up to be Robert Downey Jr. And so these ghosts fly around Robert Downey Jr. and help him with his relationships.
No, they don't fly.
They hang out.
Ghosts.
They walk. Sometimes they float, but they walk around with them. They're not flying.
They walk around.
It's not like a Casper situation.
They're not spending money on these special effects. Come on.
No, it's
I do remember one of the ghosts did ask Robert Downey Jr.'s as a kid to tie a blindfold around his eyes and then get his dad's porn magazine so the ghosts could look at porn.
Oh, I remember that.
It's a weird movie.
And the kid with the stamps. I remember the kid with the stamps.
Yeah.
What?
We watched Heart and Souls a lot in my family. I think it's a fun Elizabeth Shue is the love interest in that.
I forgot about her.
Yeah, I love Elizabeth Shue. Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get her back. So it's kind of like a good romantic comedy, but really kind of weird. It's got ghosts. It's Downey before a lot of his troubles came to fruition.
Wait, why are we watching this with the cosmonauts?
Yeah, why are we watching it?
I think I just wanted like a good camaraderie movie, and I think that camaraderie. Yeah, there we go. I think if there's any movie that I don't feel like the Russians have seen that they might appreciate, it's Heart and Souls. No.
I mean, maybe I don't know. That seems like a strange pick to me.
I also just want to highlight, why is that movie of all movies aboard the space station? Like, who got Heart and Souls and sent it?
Somebody had a vote, and they voted for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. There's also only one Harry Potter movie on there, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
That's the one.
That's the worst one.
I'm very confused by a lot of these choices. Anyways. Is it my pick now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Dylan kind of touched on this idea earlier that, moving out with the Russians, you got to do something that is probably not very language dependent. Something they're going to be able to enjoy. And so, we've got, I'm thinking kind of a silly type action movie. We had, stuff like Ghostbusters is up there. But I'm going to actually go with something a little more action-packed, less humorous, because I feel like sometimes that stereotype of Russian people... I'm sorry if we have any Russians listening here, but I feel like they're very serious, and they like violence and death. Is that a stereotype? I'm going with it. I'm picking RoboCop, because I feel like it's a good movie that everyone can agree on, where good guys beat up bad guys, and there's cool violence. Yeah, Let's go with it. Let's go with RoboCop.
The list didn't describe if it was the new RoboCop or the old RoboCop, but I'm going to assume it was the old RoboCop.
Oh, that's a good point. You know what? Whichever one, I'd watch.
I feel like when they got to like the R's in the Freedom of Information request, they're like, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit." Because there's a few movie repeats. There's one movie that appears twice on the list. One as that, and then one that doesn't. I think it's Terminator. Appears twice on that list, and then so I feel like they don't give a shit. They're not even gonna like tell you what RoboCop it was. They don't care. RoboCop's a good movie. I want to do a Paul Verhoeven episode one day because he directed like Total Recall and Starship Troopers and just some like really weird bonkers movies.
Have you seen the recent crowdfunded version of RoboCop?
No.
Where someone like when they announced that they were when they announced that they were rebooting RoboCop, a bunch of other people said, "Nah, they're gonna fuck it up. We're gonna make our own version." And so they crowdfunded a version where every scene is created by a different director, and is sometimes just like a sketch about RoboCop. Sometimes it's like crazy, weird, artistic. Sometimes it's babies dressed up like characters with people voicing over.
Is this just on YouTube or something, or where is this?
Yeah, you can just find it out there. I think probably Vimeo or but it's out there, and it's sometimes a little annoying because at times you're like, why am I watching this? But then at other times, like, of course, there's a famous scene where RoboCop shoots the guy's dick off because he's a powerful robot cop who can do that. And the
guy's a rapist.
And the guy's a rapist. But the director who took over that scene had literally a swarm of like gangsters run out with their pants down and dicks hanging out, and RoboCop like going through this frenzy of shooting all their dicks off. It's quite enjoyable to watch.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's weird.
That part sounds really familiar, and I don't know why or where I would have seen that.
You might have only seen that part.
Maybe it was like at the beginning of a movie at the Alamo Drafthouse. That seems like the kind of thing they would show there.
Yeah, that does. Because like I feel like if I sat down to watch a movie where RoboCop shot off multiple dudes' dicks off, I feel like I'd remember that. I wouldn't be like, I think so. Like I feel like you would know. Like
so
RoboCop 1
is the crowdfunded version, so that's what I'm voting for.
Yeah. RoboCop 1 has like the most satisfying ending of any movie I've ever seen. Do you remember that? It's like that boardroom, and he kills all the bad guys except for one dude. And the one dude just stands up and gives RoboCop the thumbs up, and then the movie just like immediately cuts to black. It's like it's so fucking great. I love RoboCop. RoboCop. I was thinking about RoboCop, and I don't know why I picked Heart and Souls, guys. I really don't. Dylan, it's to you.
Kia, I'm with you. We need some action. We need something that's a clear like good versus evil, something that we can understand. And here's the deal. The Cold War's over, so we can look back and laugh on everything. So the good versus evil, maybe it's American versus some like nondescript Russian type characters. I'm going to pick Air Force One.
Yeah.
I think the Russians would dig it. I think they would dig it. I think we'd have a good laugh about it.
I think you're right. I think they would.
Some
stereotypical
Kazakhstans. And everyone, it's easy to follow, right? You don't need to speak the language.
Get off my plane.
Plus, I feel like the Russians would really like Nicolas Cage. Like, I feel like
it's not Nicolas Cage.
I'm thinking. Sorry. I was thinking of Con Air.
You thinking of Gone in 60 Seconds?
Con Air.
No, I was thinking of Con Air in my head this entire time.
Ooh, is that on the list?
No,
I don't think it is.
The Rock.
Anyways, and aside, I think Nicolas Cage would be really good as Vladimir Putin. Like, I think that'd be a good movie. Anyways, but back to Air Force One. Still a great pick, and I'm still with you, Dylan, now that I've switched my brain over.
Did you,
I would like to hear that movie dubbed into Russian, too, now that I think of it.
Nicolas Cage as... Oh, wait, which movie?
We're still talking about Air Force One, man.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Did you guys see the... article, I think it was on AV Club, and it was about like a movie festival where Soviet and American filmmakers decided to get together and show each other the films of how they depicted each other's countries. Yeah. And so I think it was in the 80s.
Yeah, I did
and so we came rolling up with like Red Dawn and 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 like No Way Out and another and other great films that we've made, making Russians out to be monsters, because it was all in the spirit of like good humor and also just showing like this is what we think of you guys. And the Russians had no movies like that. Like they did not give a shit about America. Like Americans only like appeared in the background of like World War II films or World War I movies, where like a lot of Russian films are just like building up the myth of Russia and communism and how great it is. Like a lot of their movies are about like looking back the way that we had like a lot of like World War II movies. And so they never even got to like fear mongering about the Americans the way that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And the Americans just looked at the Russians like, oh, we're
really sorry.
We're the insensitive ones. Sorry.
We spent the last 30 years making them into our default bad guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Russians like, why? I don't know. I don't understand that. So I think with that context, I think Air Force One is a really funny pick. I think the Russians could get behind this.
Yeah. I agree. I haven't seen it in forever and don't remember much of anything about it, but I remember enjoying it, and I think it would be a good pick.
Hey, and it was a good get for them to have on this thing, but it's come up like twice in the last year, like on a Saturday afternoon, where I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. You can't find it on any streaming service.
Really?
You can only rent it. Yeah.
You have to rent it or buy it?
Yeah, and I don't really want to rent it, right?
No. Can you digital rent it?
Yeah, it's in like the iTunes store or Amazon store and all that stuff.
Okay, for like $4 or $5.
Yeah, it's not enough for me to, to watch a movie like that on a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a movie you put on and then watch.
But they can watch it for free on the damn fucking space station.
Yeah.
Well,
not only that, they're spending our taxpayer dollars to watch this.
That's right. I paid to watch that.
I paid.
So I should be allowed to watch it.
I get a cut.
There should be a space station streaming service where anything up there. Hold on. It's the Freedom of Information Act, right? So if the astronauts are watching it, that's information that they have, which means we should legally be allowed to have the information that's in these movies, right?
Yeah. Is that just like them telling us, like reenacting Air Force One for us? Like, is that what we get?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'd read a blog post reenactment. Sure.
So our picks for Mixers with the Russians are Heart and Souls, RoboCop, and Air Force One. Kia, what's your vote?
As much as I like Heart and Souls, I think Heart and Souls is probably a better movie for me. I would rather any day of the week watch Heart and Souls, but I'm afraid the Russians are going to call me a pussy if I watch like a romantic comedy with them. So I'm going to go with Air Force One. I would
Air.
with Con Air, but I can't. So I'm going to go with Air Force One.
That's a double feature, though. Dylan, what's your pick?
Look, I think that we probably. What year did Heart and Souls come out, Vince? Because I feel like we watched that a lot.
Probably like 90, 91, probably.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I have a lot of memories of watching that a lot with my family. So like maybe that was just a popular go-to family movie. Maybe our moms all had crushes on Robert Downey Jr. Maybe that was it.
I don't know. I mean, I have a huge crush on Elizabeth Shue.
There were a lot of ghost comedies around that time too. Like there
was like a thing with like people like ghosts then. What was like?
I don't know.
Maybe after Ghost came out, it was like in the wake of it. It's 93, by the way. Which
Ghost
seems a little late.
Ghosts were in the public conscious for some reason.
There was Ghost Dad with famous non-rapist at the time, Bill Cosby, which I remember. I watched that over and over again. I wanted him to be my ghost dad.
Well, knowing that, or not knowing how the Russians feel about ghosts, I wouldn't want to offend them. So I'm going to pick RoboCop.
Thank you.
So, and this is to me, and I can't pick mine, so I'm the deciding vote. And I'm going to take Air Force One as well.
So close.
Get off my space station. But really, I don't know if Russians are all spooked by ghosts. Like if they're scary to them.
Oh, yeah.
How bad we would be bad hosts if the cosmonauts showed up and we showed them a scary ghost movie.
I mean, think of it this way. Ask yourself, how do Americans feel about ghosts? I mean, we got a fucking ton of Americans. Who can tell? Some of us do, some of us don't.
So, holy shit, guys. The writer of Ghost Dad, the guy who wrote Ghost Dad also wrote Heart and Souls. Brent Maddox.
What?
Oh, maybe he's the go-to ghost guy in Hollywood.
Yeah, he was just writing ghost movie after ghost movie.
He wrote Short Circuit, Batteries Not Included, so he's writing robot movies, and then he switched to Tremors. He wrote Tremors, and then Ghost Dad, and then Heart and Souls, and then Wild Wild West.
And then...
And that's it.
Oh, and then they said, you know what? We're done. Unless maybe he died. I don't know.
No, he's still working on T.J. Hooker the movie, and Short Circuit reboot.
Oh dear.
So, oh dear, Brent Maddox.
Go back to Ghost Romance.
Come back to your bread and butter, man.
So, guys, we've gotten to our last night here on the space station.
Mm-hmm.
What? I guess I get to pick again because I'm always last place. Our last night on the space station. What are we going out on? What are we sending ourselves home to? Do we want something optimistic? Do we want something a little dark? I clearly don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm gonna pick my favorite dark comedy here that I really enjoy. I know my fellow astronauts and cosmonauts really well right now. I'm gonna pick In Bruges as my movie.
Oh,
because I like that movie, Colin Farrell. So again, I probably picked this badly. I probably should have gone for action movies on the space station, kind of mindless movies. But I think it's highly quotable. I think it'll be fun coming back home. It'll be fun, and I'll have like a good destination to go to, Bruges, after I'm done with my space tour duty.
just point the ship right at Bruges on our way back.
Yeah. That's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick at all.
And so I think Kia is to you next, though.
My thought process was the end of a long journey, and that kind of that moment of getting back home, that sort of thing. And so I kind of wanted a movie about a journey, and what better journey than the Odyssey? We don't have the Odyssey, so I picked Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that is good. I thought about with my picks. I'm not talking about my pick now, but this relates back to yours. Things that were about Earth and humanity, like what made me feel really excited about like being back on Earth again, or like what parts of people made me feel really excited again, and like creativity, like the creativity of people. And so I think it's a good pick for that.
Well, that's the other thing. I really, more than anything, first wanted to look for something that would get me excited about being around people again. And I was thinking like maybe like a big sports movie, like something about a crowd or who knows. And I just didn't see anything on the list that really fit the bill. There was like it's a mad world, which was the closest thing that I could think of, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So instead, I just went with Oh Brother. Unless that's your pick, Dylan. In which case, great pick, Dylan. Great pick.
It's not my pick.
Okay,
but I do like the idea, and I'm thinking about changing my pick now. I like the idea of a sports movie because you're probably really anxious to do something like athletic and outside.
Yeah, don't watch Miracle though.
Oh,
now with the Russians there.
Oh yeah,
which one's Miracle?
That's where we beat their hockey team.
Oh yes. Okay.
Maybe they don't care though. Like we care because we weren't supposed to win, but maybe the Russians don't care.
Oh yeah, we remember it. I think because it was a big deal for us, but for them, I think they win all the time anyway. It's like, oh, that.
I theorized. I theorized that none of the fucking nerds up there give a shit.
Good point. Because just a bunch of jocks on Earth talking about sports.
So did you pick Rookie of the Year?
No, I did not pick Rookie of the Year.
Is that on there?
It is.
Rookie of the Year is on there.
I don't know how Rookie of the Year got on this list. That's what I'm saying. Someone had to like vote, or someone at NASA in a tie had to put together this list. And they put Rookie of the Year on there.
I love Rookie of the Year. As a kid, I don't.
Oh, can I change?
I don't want to watch it as like a 50-year-old astronaut.
Yeah, and then I wonder, like,
go for it. Yeah, I just noticed that Scrooge is on there. The Bill Murray Scrooge movie. I'm gonna change.
I wish I could help you. Well, I'm seeing Fred Claus on here for the first time too. We can't go back though.
Oh no! All right, I'm sorry. Well, a life that could have been.
Dylan, what do you got?
Okay, I'm going very literal here. We were in space, and now we finally get to come back home. What's a movie that is like that or ends with that? I'm going to pick Armageddon. Because at the end of the movie, they come home from space.
And it even has the space shuttle.
And they're on the space. Yeah.
The space station on it, which I bet people would laugh at. And they'd be like, everybody on the ship would be like, that's not what it's
they
like.
get a good laugh. And then they save the Earth. They get to get excited about Earth again. And they come back home.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Hold on.
Hey, don't sing that because then Aerosmith's gonna put a copyright protection on this.
Hey,
and they're gonna take it down off our YouTube channel.
I just remembered that song was in the movie. I'm gonna change my pick. I hate that song.
You know,
I'm gonna change it. I can't. We're gonna watch Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is a good movie.
Oh, that is good. A field. You haven't seen a field in ages, and you're excited to get back to a field.
Oh,
I just been dreaming about fields.
And it's about ghosts too.
No, I thought we didn't. We don't like ghosts. I like ghosts, and I'm never seeing these guys again. It's okay if I scared them with a ghost.
That's right. We don't need to be worried about scaring the Russians.
That was the last pick. Yeah, we don't care about them now.
They're going to be up there alone in a haunted space station.
Oh boy. Yeah, that pick is only bad if we die somehow on the way out, and they just got
haunted by Ray Liotta's ghost.
Ooh.
I mean, of any ghost, that'd be kind of like a lame one. If you were like, "Hey, you're gonna get haunted by a ghost celebrity,"
that's
Ray Liotta.
Oh man, I'd be really excited. I was like, "Who am I gonna get?"
Yeah,
disgraced baseball players.
Ray Liotta. Wait, baseball? You're talking about the movie?
Wait, is Angels in the Outfield on this?
I don't think so.
No, that was
about Angels. Angels are different than ghosts.
Yeah.
I think they're the same.
Oh, I think more Americans believe in angels than ghosts, though. Or it's probably
I think angels
probably
are
the same
type
people.
Of ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a strict. I think the Venn diagram pretty much overlaps. I don't think there's a angels ain't real.
But ghosts though.
Ghosts. And then ghosts ain't real, but angels are.
Yeah, you bring up a good question, and I want to get to the bottom of it right now on this podcast. What's the difference between an angel and a ghost?
Oh boy. Okay, so here's what I think. I think a ghost is somebody that has not moved on to the afterlife, who is having a hard time and still sort of, wandering around the earth, dealing with that sort of thing. I think an angel is someone who has moved on to the afterlife, but has been sent back in order to help people on the
I buy that definition, and I agree 100%. Follow-up question. Can angels and ghosts see each other and interact with each other?
Okay, so I think that normally, no. However, in some extreme circumstances where a ghost was somehow perhaps wronged by somebody that an angel might also be trying to help at the same time, I think if their paths are sort of converging like that, then definitely. Also, there might even be possibilities where an angel is trying to help a ghost get up to heaven. I think that's also possible. And I think maybe we've even seen movies like that where, somebody is not quite dead all the way and they get a helper assigned to them to kind of
I've got a movie idea
finish
for
their
you.
business on Earth. Yeah.
Could an angel fall in love with a ghost?
Boy. And have the ghost fail the mission and not make it up to heaven. That'd be a sad ending. But then
the wasn't Nicolas Cage in a movie like that? City of Angels?
No, there are no ghosts in that though. That was just angels. I'm saying angels and ghosts separate but equal. Like they parallel paths, but they're different, and they're not supposed to interact.
I think that would be a great movie.
Like a Romeo and Juliet situation, except God is Lord Capulet.
Oh shit!
But who's the leader of the ghost that doesn't want them interacting with angels?
Well, it's not the devil, but there's some kind of head ghost, right? Ghost Dad.
Of course. Oh yeah, it's Bill Cosby. It's Bill Cosby.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Right? No, that's not what he said.
So, our picks for the last night are In Bruges, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and Field of Dreams, not Armageddon. I was going to pick Armageddon, I'm not going to lie.
I really don't want to listen to that song again. I like Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I like the idea of watching that on my last night in space. I feel like I would get really excited about being outside after watching that.
Oh, that's true. That's a good call.
Yeah.
I like Field of Dreams though, and I'm gonna leave this whole deciding thing in Kia's hands.
Oh,
I was gonna vote In Bruges, which gives us a tie for this one. So I think I'm gonna have to.
Does this mean we have to watch Armageddon anyway?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. No, that means we have to just watch that song on repeat for our last day.
No.
So everything tied there. So that means that Kia got, I believe, 2 points with Air Force One / Con Air.
No,
No,
Air
that's
Force
Dylan.
One was Dylan's. Yeah, Con
Okay,
Air
so
was
Kia
mine.
got Guardians of the Galaxy. Binge Watch Day, I won for Americans. Kia or Dylan won for Die Hard / Lego Movie, and Air Force One / Con Air.
A lot of
And
slashes.
then we
I never.
a lot of slashes. Well, Kia's gonna just watch this and be like, "Why is the bunny? Where's the bunny? Where's the bunny being put back in the box? Isn't Steve Buscemi in this movie?" That's what he's gonna be thinking the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
guys. So we've got our movie planning picks, but I just want to do like a little mild recap of this list. What was the weirdest movie that you found on this list? Like, why is this? Were you surprised? Like, why is this one of all movies? I can start. Mine was The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada, which is a movie I enjoy. It's a fine movie with Tommy Lee Jones from 10 years ago. I don't know why it's on the space station. It's a movie I watched on a plane, but I've never seen it on the other world.
What is that movie?
Okay.
It's about Tommy Lee Jones has a friend. It's kind of a western. It's a period piece, and his friend he's got a Mexican friend who dies in Texas, I think. It's been 10 years since I watched this on a plane, and he's got to he carries him across the border, the dead body, to bury his friend with his family. So the whole movie, she's got this dead body on the top of like a horse or a donkey that's just got flies, and it's just like 2 hours of Tommy Lee Jones. Not even hijinks. It's a serious movie, just walking across plains. It's an okay movie. It's well performed by Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know why it's on the space station.
There are like a lot of weird movies up here. Some of them we talked about, like Rookie of the Year. I don't know why that's on here. Just some stuff that's kind of out of place. Like, I feel like the Lego movie's even kind of out of place.
There's a lot of stuff out of place.
The weirdest one that I found was they had, that TV show The Middle?
Yeah.
They have that on here, but they have seasons 1, 2, 5, and 6.
Yes. There was another, I forget what other show it was. The Office. They have 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Oh my God.
For The Office. Yeah.
Season 4 wasn't very good. I didn't like. That was a strike shortened season. I didn't like that.
Is that why they left it off?
That's why they know.
Well, that was also the season they started off with like a few 40-minute episodes, and so they just felt a little like oddly paced. That's when I got off the Office bandwagon, so I'm on board with that.
Hey, I went back and watched The Office. I was like really sick one day, and I just didn't have anything to watch, and so I watched like the first couple seasons of it a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty funny show.
It's pretty good. I think it hits a definite wall around season 4, but I think the first few seasons are really darn good.
I had forgotten how good it was, and it made me think about like there's like other shows like that too. But we would like plan our night around making sure that we caught that show, and it seems so like trivial now. The Office, right? It's kind of like basic, but
right. Well, I feel like Parks and Rec was like a do-over. Like they got like better character pairings, but still did The Office. And they just hit the ground running a little better than and made it a longer lasting show than I think The Office. I think kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah,
both really good movies or good shows though.
As far as weird stuff that I noticed on the list, I think for me, Shallow Hal was probably the weirdest.
Yeah,
the movie where Gwyneth Paltrow did Fat Face with Jack Black.
Yeah,
very strange. Very strange choice.
I saw Father of the Bride 1950, not the 91 Steve Martin.
What a bummer. I feel like I would, as an astronaut, I'd be disappointed every time I went to put that on.
I also I talked about It's a Mad World, which is all about everyone racing for the prize, whatever. There's also Rat Race, which was that the remake
of it. Yep.
Yeah, which.
Rat Race is on there?
About. Rat Race is on this list, yeah.
So weird.
Weird. And there's like movies that are, it's a good movie, and it's movies that I really, really like, but I don't know why I don't know why Birdman's on this list. That's kind of weird, right?
I don't know why Batman Forever and Batman Returns.
That's weird.
And I think Dark Knight are the only ones on this list. Like, those are the... no, Dark Knight isn't even on this. Oh, it is.
I like Invention of Lying starring Ricky Gervais. I think that movie is really weird and funny, but I don't know why it would be on the space station either.
Yeah, kind of like it makes me. I don't know how I feel about knowing that that's really cool. There's like 6 astronauts up there in space right now, but they're watching Austin Powers. That's kind of weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is one of they didn't bring up Goldmember though. I think they brought up the first 2 movies, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Also,
And then
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
what?
Yeah.
The fuck is bringing? They don't bring these movies back down. I think they just take them up and they don't
take
come
them
back
Right,
down.
they don't. They just live up there.
And were there any movies that you were surprised wasn't on this list? I had like I kept looking for like 1 or 2 movies that I was like scrolling through, like seriously, this has to be on here. Mine was Wall-E.
Oh yeah, Wall-E definitely belongs up there. No, I think it was honestly just when there were sequels or things missing from a franchise that gave me pause. Other than that, there was never.
It's a good look. I got to be honest. When I opened it up, I thought there was going to be like 24 movies on this thing.
Yeah, it's a long.
There's like 100-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way more than 100, I think.
Yeah, it's a good list.
It could be about.
Check it out, guys. Check it out. Our listeners, check it out on all of our areas. Facebook.com/all my friends are right here, and please subscribe to there. Also, we're right here on Twitter. And allmyfriendsareRightHere.com, and you can find the list there. Tell us where we were wrong. Tell us what you think was a better pick. You can write long diatribes. I know my wife will, about like, guys, really? I looked at that list. Why didn't y'all mention this? So if you want to feel that, please do. You're probably right. And we'd love you to write some iTunes reviews out there. Give us 5 stars, and just tell us what you like, what you don't like, and let us know what we're doing right or not, so we can make the show better for you guys.
I'm not going to make you give us 5 stars. Give us 4 stars, and then
I'm okay with even 1 star.
I want the 1 star. I want to know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, put that in a 5-star review so it looks nice.
Yeah. Don't give me a 1-star review and just tell me what I'm doing right. That's the
worst.
That's the
worst helpful review.
That's the worst combination of reviews. Guys, y'all have anything else to say about this incredible space station list? I thought it was a pretty weird
list. And one more movie I'll mention. It's weird that 12 Years a Slave is on this list. I don't know if I want to watch that.
I feel like they just threw up all the Oscar movies. I think they just took all the Oscar movies from that year up.
You're in space.
Did 12 Years a Slave win Best Picture?
I don't know, but you're in space.
Birdman did.
Here's the deal. Why are you watching a movie anyway? Shouldn't you just go look out the window?
Yeah, I would not take Room up there. In terms, like that would be an awkward movie. I feel. Okay, never mind. I feel like things are getting weird now. It's a weird list. I'll agree. All right, so I was your host, Vince. Thank you so much, Dylan.
Thanks, Vince.
Thank you, Kia.
To infinity and beyond.
And we'll see you again next time. Bye. Love y'all so much. Damn.
Love you.
Bye. That was an astronaut.
I thought it was your Darth Vader.
He's kind of like an astronaut.
I was gonna say it's not very good.